Hey, so you're thinking about Thousand Trails and you really can't make up your mind. That's why you're looking at this video. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with Thousand Trails as a full-timer. Well, let's go back before I was a full-timer. I was a member of Thousand Trails on the basic level service. On the basic level, I want to say I paid $5.75. You can get it for cheaper. So prices, and I'll put links below to some pretty valuable links here, but it's on the basic camping pass. And then I came to realize, I got it at an RV show. We lived in Florida. So we had the opportunity, small kids, to travel around to go to places outside of the Encore parks, right? We'll get into, we got the regular camping pass, and we got the Encore parks, which are an add-on. And it worked. It was before we were full-timing. It worked for children. I didn't get ahead. There was no great benefit in doing it when I did the math, how much I thought I was going to use it. Like most of these things, when you get into whether it be a timeshare or any kind of discount programs, you got to read the fine print. But for me, I didn't have any good taste or bad taste. So then we decided, hey, we're going to go full-timing. Having done it, it had been a while. So I started doing homework. That's why I'm doing this video. I said, let me check it out. Maybe 1,000 Trails is the way to go for us, okay? First thing is, if you're here, you probably know it's a membership program that provides, not a discount, but provides, we'll call it free camping after you're prepaying for camping, right, for campgrounds. And it sounds great. You look at the map. Again, look below. There'll be maps. But historically, it's going to be the places people want to go, the coastal areas. For the most part. Obviously, there's Arizona. There's other places. But it's going to be spread around. So if you want to go to Kansas City, you may not have it. Take a look at the description and the links. So that's been historically what it was for. I was in Florida, so when I used the pass, that was how we used it. And so that's what the 1,000 Trails basic, right? So then you get into the 1,000 Trails with Encore parks. And those are the ones you want to go to, right? So you're not going to want to, and there's 5 zones. Now we get into zones, we get into the basic. So, the basic package, we'll call it $575, and take a look at the current pricing. There's all sorts of discounts, perpetual things going on here. And then the different zones, we'll call it the Encore parks, the simplest way to think about it. So you get into that package, you're going to do it for, $800+ if you pick your zone. So maybe Florida's your zone. That's what it'd be kind of like the basic package before you get into the different levels of packages. And we'll call it the elite levels of packages. And that just keeps going up from elite, basic, elite, premium. But from my standpoint, from our standpoint, when we looked at it, here's the thought process we went into, okay? First of all, let's just talk about, I looked at the basic package because I thought, I'm not going to commit to doing any of these. I would say do not commit. And this is from a CPA standpoint, right? So I'm a numbers guy. I wouldn't commit to any of these till you tried the basic one first and said, okay, we love this. I would not buy anybody's package on the elite level. The elite level being you're paying more beyond the annual fee. You're paying an additional amount to get these benefits. These benefits being how far in advance you can book and those things. I wouldn't do anything till you tried it and go, hey, we like this. And if you're the type of person who's really good at figuring out programs, credit card points, whether it be, hotel stays and points, if you're a good person navigating those type of things, this is for you. Because I'm not good at that. I equate it to this. If you're the person that goes to a buffet and gets your money's worth for 2 days, right? It's worth it. I go to a buffet, I don't eat enough. It's not worth it for me. So 1,000 Trails is a version thereof where if you really read the fine print, and it works with your lifestyle, and as a full-timer, just a regular camper, very active camper, it's probably a no-brainer because you can really make it work for you. If you sit down and go, here's where they're at, we're going to go here, we make our reservations, and if you're the basic package, again, the camping package, you got to be 60 days in advance. You can only be there 14 days before you got to leave for 7, right? Or if you're there less than 4 nights, you can go to another campground in the basic package or the Encore package, right? Again, there's these different packages right off the bat. So now you get into, okay, how do the packages work together? It's 60 days in advance, but if I'm on the elite, is it 90 days? Is somewhere 120? And then there's old packages you see. There's resellers that sell some of the old packages because you're buying into a contract that obviously in this case is a transferable contract. So now we're dealing with lots of moving parts. I think a lot of the frustration and the complaints you see are people didn't really, there's so many moving parts and there's so many stipulations in this agreement you're signing that people don't realize they're getting into a contract with lots of moving parts. Okay, right off the bat. So let's end on that. So now we talk about how was it why didn't we do it again? And we'll get to that at the end. So when I did it, the parks, it's not like I'm here in Florida right now and Madeira Beach. If I'm at a Hilton Honors, are pretty consistent now in the level of quality of these places. Pretty consistent decor. parks, right, through 1,000 Trails, the consistency does vary. I've never found one where I was disgusted with it, and most of them I was happy with when I was doing it. And we checked it out, thinking about it again, we did the same thing. And we were in Florida, so a lot of the parks I already knew, the Encore parks were part of that, can be part of one of the packages. So I knew the parks. I even knew some of the people in the parks staying there. I knew some people worked in the parks. So I had a pretty good idea of that. Now, if I were going out to Arizona, to California, I'm not going to know, look online, check it out. But again, you're not going to have the consistency amongst the parks. So if you're looking for super duper high-end consistency, this isn't going to be for you. It's not going to be for you. If you're looking for something economical and you really pay attention to planning your schedule around it. So on the 1,000 Trails, here's some of the downsides, right? There's age restriction parks, okay? There's kind of what we'll call blackout period parks or high usage at times where maybe you can't get in. There's an extra fee. Some of them in South Florida have an extra fee buried in. There's not a lot of consistency there. It's not like if I buy the basic package or the elite premium or elite basic, I've got this and I want to go to Miami. There's not a lot of consistency there on how those parks work. So that's frustrated a lot of people. It would frustrate me, quite honestly. I don't want to have to navigate through. I think I paid for it, and all of a sudden I get there and there's this extra what if at the end. That's why a lot of people aren't satisfied with it. I know a lot of people have gotten out of it. So age restrictions and then children restrictions. Some of these parks are 55 and older, which is not a shocker to me because I'm a Floridian. I get it. That's a lot of the places are like that. But that could be a problem. If you're the grandparents with the kids, you're 65 with the grandkids. How that works, I don't know. I didn't have that problem. But age restrictions and then this blackout period or high usage period restriction. And it seems like whenever I was trying to use it in the past, I kept running into that blackout high usage period thing. That was frustrating, and so we decided not to do it this time around. And now, if you were full-timing or traveling a lot in this thing, you really would try to do it the most economical way with consistency. You planned a lot in advance, right? If you're a big planner, I think this is great. I think it's a great opportunity to save quite a bit of money on let's call it the $800 total. So you got one zone, all right, so you're in the southeast zone. And you got the basic camping package. And if you work it right and plan your trips out far enough in advance, you can book 60 days, right? And then if you plan your schedule around, okay, it's 4th of July and I'm on the beach, that's going to be a tough one to get into. But you plan it around accordingly. You may have common sense. I think this can be a great thing. You're doing a lot of moving on the basic package. So 14 days max, you got to be out for 7 days of the system. Now, that doesn't mean you can't find an Encore park if you got the package, right? So you got the additional add-on package. The Encore will call it package. That's what I remember it as. You can't go into one of those and then come back, so you're moving. So if you're a person who doesn't mind moving every 14 days, great. If you're a person who wants to stay or you don't know, and I haven't looked into this, put comments below. Have you guys ever run into this? If you're there 14 days and you're the basic package, and you say, you know what, I got to be out of the system 7. I want to give you a check for the other 7 days. And after that, on the 8th day, I want to get back to my 14 days. Would that work? To me, I thought about that when I was thinking about getting back into this 1,000 Trails business was, I don't want to move. I like it here. I didn't know if I liked it. Now I like it. I've got the extra Encore package, but I just want to be in this park. I don't want to move. Can I just write a check to the people for the 7 days and then get the other 14 on the back end scheduled? Probably again, did you book it? Could you book it? Those are the things that aren't really clear. And even look, again, I'll put some below in the description, some of the frequently asked questions from the 1,000 Trails folks. And a lot of them are surrounding about that, like zone issues and things that come up. So if you're thinking about this, if you're a big planner, okay, there's some pretty good videos that are in that, my links in the description of other YouTubers that do this. It sounds like they've got it wired. Because when I was doing it, again, we about broke even on the cost of the park versus the cost of the 1,000 Trails membership. And if my life was such that I could plan it accordingly to the parks, not a problem. So I find the quality to be adequate for what you're paying for. If I want super high-end luxury, I'm going to go to those, right? And in my videos here and below in the description, I'll put we own a place in Pelican Lake in Naples. Super high-end gated luxury. I don't expect that on my 1,000 Trails membership, right? But if I get it outside of these, if you expect super high-end luxury, probably not for you. If you're expecting them to be good, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not as good, that's going to be for you. I found as well with my 1,000 Trails in the past, I may get a site, but it may not be adequate. It may not have dump. It may not have 50 amp. It may not be big enough for a 45-footer. It's a tall thing too, right? It's not dealing with height. So it doesn't always work the way I hoped, and I didn't expect it to, and I did it. I really wasn't upset about it. I just knew going into it, is it going to work for what I want? If I'm getting uncertainty and I'm paying for it, I get a little less happy about it, right? So that's what a lot of people are upset about. I have a lot of questions about it from other people, here in YouTube. and elsewhere, like, what do you think? And it depends on the person. I think for certain people, this is outstanding. I found those people that are big planners and can work around their schedule around the 1,000 trails, or people that are traveling, from Florida up north. Obviously, when I say from Florida to Maine, some of these parks are going to be closed again, so they may be part of the package, but they're closed out of season. But you schedule your trip. It's in late summer. You may hit it just right. You may hit all of them. So if you got that flexibility to plan, like we're thinking about doing an East Coast trip, right? And I think it may be worth it for the five, just not even the Encore parks, right? Just for the basic package, for we'll call it the $500 after all the discounts you can find, to use that. Because there's several parks along the way that would fit our bill, and I don't care. We're probably not staying more than 4 days, so I can hit them every night. We could schedule our trip around it. That would work. It's going to save us money. So if I make it into, here's the simple math. Let's just call it $600 for discussion, and make it into a 30-day trip. That's $20 a night. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. So I think you could make it work if you've got those fact patterns I addressed. So, take a look, and if you've got real specific questions, again, in the description, I've got some good links. If you would consider subscribing and making a comment, that'd be outstanding, and sharing this if you've got some questions. Again, I'm looking at it from a CPA perspective, someone who's been a 1,000 Trails member and as a full-timer now, and having thought about it. Now, the way we full-time, everybody's a little different. Everybody's got a little different way they do business there. So I am not affiliated with 1,000 Trails. I'm not selling you a 1,000 Trails membership. And there's a lot of money in that business. So just so you understand here, there's a lot of videos about how outstanding 1,000 Trails is, because there's a lot of affiliate money there. In other words, I get a commission if I sell you one. I'm not in that business. I'm not against that. If I liked it, hey, great. Thanks for watching.